There is a major crisis happening in Gary, Indiana, and for some reason, no one is talking about it. Not the news, not enough people on social media, and it's truly horrific. Gary, Indiana is literally being left in the dark. I don't mean this as a metaphor. People are in the pitch dark for days at a time, y'all. Days. And it is like the purge on crack there. People have been left without power for days after a huge storm ripped through Northwest Indiana. People are struggling to find gas. People are literally breaking into other people's homes to steal their generators. And every resident that did have food now has no food at all because all of their produce has went to waste because of no electricity. And a lot of residents have been reporting very frightening situations where they're too afraid to leave their homes because people are breaking in to steal generators and to try to steal food. And if the situation doesn't sound bad enough, all while this is happening, the people who are supposed to be restoring the actual power reportedly shot at a utility crew worker while they were trying to fix the power. Thankfully, no one was injured, but why would someone even do something like that when they're coming to help? And the people who are suffering through this are not only just young people. We're talking about elderly people that need power, that are probably living by themselves and going through hell. And while all of this is going on, there is trees, rubbish that is not being cleared. People have huge trees on top of their houses that's letting all the hot air in, and they have no AC. You have people having trees on their cars where they're not able to go to work or travel or even get in their vehicle. Elderly people are suffering, homeless people are suffering, disabled people are suffering. And if you don't have a reliable form of transportation, you're basically stuck in the house with no power. And for some reason, this story is just not getting enough attention, and I don't know why.
What's going on with the city of Gary? Look at these bags up under my eyes. Now I don't get no sleep anyway because of menopause. But now at nighttime, I don't sleep at night because every little noise, I think somebody's trying to get up in here. So pew pew ready. You know what I'm saying? But what is going on at the fact that the city of Gary is getting no assistance? I don't want to hear that fake ass shit about somebody shot at the NIPSCO truck. But you're going to punish the whole city of Gary and say that we're not going to get any power until September? What about the elderly people that live alone and that's up in their houses with no power, no nothing? Now, in a minute, y'all gonna find some stinking bodies up in these houses. But do you want that mass chaos? Now people are afraid to even leave their houses because people are stealing generators, are doing all of these things. And it's because we are not getting any help in Gary. Like, that makes no sense. Make it make sense for me. Because someone allegedly shot at the NIPSCO truck or whatever truck it was, y'all say. But ain't nobody been over here in Gary doing a motherfucking thing. Like be for real. And that is the reason why you put that story out there, because the city of Gary, the folks of Gary is tired of not getting any help, of not getting any assistance. So we're making noise now. But I see all this work going on in all these little surrounding neighborhoods. Now you want to say, y'all not going to give us no power until September? How cruel and inhumane is that? Now, not to mention, I'm already dealing with issues with the insurance company. Like how inhumane is that? I find that utterly ridiculous. You want to see how dark it is in here? Hold on, I'll show you. Now, this is how dark it is in my house. You know what I got? I got this little battery operated fan that's about to go out, and I'm luckily I got to get up and try to get ready for work. But yeah, this is what's going on. So make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Look at don't sleep. Because every little noise, I'm listening. I don't know. This is getting ridiculous. It's day 7, no power. Day fucking 7, no power. And who do you think can go and afford to stay in a hotel for 7 days? I'm not Rockefeller. Make it make sense. The refrigerator is empty. We're living out of coolers. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand how you this is supposed to be, y'all got that person up there trying to make America great. America is not for me. This color. And I just truly do not understand it. How you can treat people like that. And then there's what assistance are you sending over here? Do you got somebody out there cooking food every day for the people in the neighborhoods? No. My neighbor still got a tree on his doggone car. Like, you barely cleared the areas for us to be safe in here to get in and out. And the only reason we were able to get out is because the steel mill sent people over here to clean up some stuff. Else we probably would have been still trapped over here in this little hole back here. But I digress. I got to get up and get ready for work in the pitch black dark with candle lights or flashlight or whatever it is. And now I got to go to work and be functional mentally. And then I go there and I'm still stressed out at work. Come home, I'm still stressed. I'm trying not to. Yeah, I'm done ranting. But Gary or whoever, I don't know. Somebody needs to get it together. I mean, there's no way that you can treat people like this. Well, you have been treating people like this for years and getting away with it. But your people is getting tired. Your people getting tired. They should have been tired a long time ago. And I ain't even been a Gary resident for 2 years. And I'm tired. I done had floods and all kind of stuff. And nope, no help. I done lost a whole basement worth of stuff. My insurance said, oh, you're denied. And that's another story. But I'm finna get off of here so I can get ready for work.
So for some reason, TikTok keep on blocking my videos saying I'm violating community guidelines, but they not even giving me a reason. I know y'all ain't mad that I'm putting a real word out there. All right, now I'm gonna try not to say nothing crazy so that this video don't get blocked or took down by TikTok. So y'all, basically this is Miller, Gary, Etna, however y'all want to put it. This is the beach. So me and my man decided we was gonna go by the beach last night just to see what it looked like over there. Now y'all know that little back road that you got to turn down to get into the beach. They do have trees down over there, so be fucking careful. But it does seem as if those may have failed afterwards. You know what I'm saying? It is 1000% pitch black dark everywhere, y'all. And then I see a lot of people saying like some people up in Miller have power. I'm not gonna lie, when we was riding through, we seen some people ring lights on, some people TVs on, but it was only one house that had they gotta make the generators. They probably are the CEO of the generator because ain't no way. But y'all, I just want to say, please be safe. Don't be out here flying. I know a lot of people is flying through these street lights. Like, y'all, somebody could be on the other side thinking the same thing. Like, please be cautious and be smart. There has been reports that somebody is up on 25th throwing stuff at people's cars. Y'all, please be safe at nighttime. They have already started looting people's houses, looting people's cars, because we ain't got no stores out here to loot. And it's only a matter of time before they start getting into these gas stations. I mean, it's day 4, no power. We have no help. All right, hold on. Please, everybody, Google Gary, Indiana. And I'm not talking about the surrounding areas that barely needed any help, that just have their power out. I'm talking about Gary, Indiana, who has trees on top of houses. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure this is PG-13 so that they don't block me for some mysterious reason. They're not even giving me reasons that they blocking it. Like, y'all just mad I'm putting a real word out there. And then they go to the house that I was telling y'all about. How do your whole crib, you even got stuff outside? Like, interesting. Who is that?
Atlanta residents are furious right now because a data center project literally cut power to tornado warning sirens ahead of severe weather storms. Sometimes you really can't make this stuff up. This occurred in Linton County, Indiana. And according to Linton News, a data center that is being constructed in the county cut power to the lines that fed energy to the tornado warning sirens ahead of severe storm. The power line that was cut ran 4 of the tornado sirens in the county. Now, thankfully, residents could still get information about upcoming tornadoes from their phone, for example, or online. But actual tornado warning signs that go off when you have a tornado nearby, yeah, well, they weren't working for a period of time because of this data center. And Indiana residents are furious that A, there's no backup generator for these sirens. B, the fact that this data center was able to accidentally cut power to them, and so much more. As always, spread the word. Follow along to stay update on all the news you need to know about.
Straight up apocalyptic scenes are coming out of Indiana right now. While entire rural towns are being swallowed by rivers, 95% of Lake County is in the dark for at least a week, and cell service is non-existent. And all of this is avoidable. While there have been miles-long gas lines for days, Governor Mike Braun only just declared a state of emergency, because this is what happens when your government is owned by mega corporations. They defund public services and neglect the infrastructure that is specifically designed to prevent this kind of crisis. These politicians only listen to you if you can afford a lobbyist. They don't give a fuck about brown people in urban Gary for the same reason they don't give a fuck about rural Connorsville. Because they're poor. You are invisible to our corporate captured government unless you're a big tech firm or a utility monopoly bribing them off for a data center. At times like this, the community around you is all you've got, and you are powerful as a collective force. I'll be covering the aftermath of the storm.
I have to say something because what's happening right now in Northwest Indiana is so diabolical. Northwest Indiana has been without power for 7 days. If you don't know how Northwest Indiana works, they only have one power company. It's called NIPSCO. NIPSCO moves however the fuck NIPSCO wants to move. There are 3 cities that are in Northwest Indiana that are predominantly black and Latino, and the way that they are doing this, people, it's so wrong. They put up this list and timeline of when they're going to have power restored for all of these white cities. But there's no Hammond, there's no East Chicago, there's no Gary, Indiana, which is predominantly a black city. Now, all of these neighborhoods have been without power for 7 days. I'm from this area and they are being robbed. There are people that are trying to break into other people's house to steal their generators. They don't have any food. They don't have any AC. And right now, across this country, we are facing a heat dome. There are elderly black Americans who are struggling. And the rich white cities, yeah, they're all coming together and helping each other out, but they're leaving Gary, Hammond, and East Chicago to fend for themselves. And it's fucking wrong. Especially because these are the communities that voted against the Republicans in that state who are leaving them high and dry. And that's probably why they're not getting any help.
Look at this pitch. Everyone's like, oh, how dark is it? How dark is it in Gary, Indiana, right? This is how dark it is. This is a fucking residential street. That's crazy. And it's like that for miles. It's like that in every fucking direction. Everywhere you look is like that. For the small areas that have power, everywhere you look, it's pitch black fucking dark. That's crazy.
Everything that we see in front of our face right now is normal. Then if it's normal, why does a town in Indiana have no gas, have no electricity, and people are stranded? Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen.
It's like a horror movie out here. We've got helicopters everywhere. The roads are parking lots. It's like we're all trying to exit town and there's no gas, no power, nowhere to go. We're stuck. The car is officially off, no gas. It's hot. We've got all the doors open. And Agner's annoyed, so I'm gonna stop updating you guys. He wants me to sit here in hot silence and just burn up and do nothing.
Y'all remember this scene from Leave the World Behind? Look at this. This woman said that there is no gas, there is no electricity. You have helicopters flying over their heads like they're in a third world country. This woman and her husband, boyfriend, or whatever he was, had to call an Uber to get them away from where they were. Mind you, they had to leave their car because their car didn't have any gas. In America, tell me what's normal about that. If you have family in Indiana, you need to check on your family in Indiana. And for everybody that's not in Indiana, we need to get ready for something that's going to happen. Because 9 times out of 10, if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Look at all the stuff that's been going on with these data centers. Matter of fact, we're not gonna get into that.
It's Aja, and I'm going on day fucking 7 of having no power in one of Indiana's worst blackouts and one of the highest crime cities in Indiana. As you can see from the bags under my motherfucking eyes, I'm tired. First things first, I have no food. That refrigerator is as empty as my soul right now. I don't know how you don't get I live in a food desert, so we literally survive off Family Dollars and one grocery store that sells old expired produce that they get from other grocery stores, and even those are fucking closed. I also have an autistic daughter, which means her screen time has been 0 and my irritation time has been 100. And before you talk about autistic parents and tablets, please know that her educational games are my only time where she doesn't scream and holler, so we're not having that time. We have something very simple set up for the bathroom. We have these little lanterns that we bought from Walmart. They are battery powered. You just pop them down and then you pop them back up when you have to go TT. As you can see, per usual, our favorite is doing what he does best, sleeping. It is extremely hot and humid. Inside my house is 80 degrees because we have no AC and there's a fucking hole in multiple parts of my roof from that lovely fucking tree deciding to collapse. As of right now, they're telling us that they don't know when our power would be back on. First, they told us Friday. Then they accused someone of shooting at NIPSCO. Yes, shooting at the NIPSCO worker. And have paused all restoration power in our area attempts till further notice.
So the power been off in Gary, Indiana for the last weekend. It's not major news, no major coverage. Like, what is going on? If you see this post, could you please repost it and share it for me so more coverage can get on the families that's suffering in Gary, Indiana with no power and haven't had power in the last week? Is literally not national news. Like, what is going on? Those people are out there suffering in heat. So if there's anybody in the surrounding areas that can go out and send help, it will be really nice. So we need like all posts that's speaking on the power outage that's been occurring in the last weekend, Gary, Indiana.
I don't know which one of you dumbasses shot at the NIPSCO workers, the electricians or whatever, but y'all are some dumbasses. I'm not too certain what the fuck y'all thought that was gonna do. And I'm sitting here on my fucking balcony. And there hasn't been power at my crib since Monday. I just had to throw away all my food. It's crazy as hell. And it's now Saturday, so it's definitely gonna make a whole entire week of us not having no power, no electricity. You know, this is something that I'm not really surprised of as far as like having to damn near like doomsday prep and make sure I have my generator flashlights. That's typically my kind of conversation. So, you know, and it's my first time actually experiencing this shit, at least on my own independently. You know what I'm saying? But this is crazy. I don't know why y'all shot at the people and why that all of a sudden is going to be a reason now that you guys feel like you're just not going to stop trying to get our power back on. But that's some crazy ass shit. That's some very crazy shit right there, man. Because look at this. You don't think we deserve to have our power back by now, bro? People got kids. This is ridiculous, man. This is crazy. You got the elderly lady over there. I was just speaking with her, and she has nowhere to go. Like, there's nowhere for some of these people to go. Luckily, I can go to my mom's house in Illinois, but Indiana, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up out here.
Ooh, this is crazy. I never seen anything like this. Never. All my years of living here, I never seen anything like this.
You gotta work the phone? Everyone's at the gas station.
No, I don't have no signal.
No service? Yeah, no.
No.
So, what exactly happened in Gary, Indiana that led us to here? On August 11th, there was a huge storm that ripped through northwest Indiana that tore down trees that caused flash flooding and had destructive winds that just no one was prepared for. The storm was so extreme that NIPSCO described it as one of the worst storms in history. Now, another issue that did come up in this whole entire process is the fact that a data center was actually built in a neighboring town. And due to this data center being built, they cut any type of tornado warnings or storm warnings that would have gave people a heads up. And this is like a big issue for people as well, where they're connecting this to why people are suffering as much as they are today. Because after this data center was built, people were not getting alerted about the storm and just how intense it was, and a lot of people were just kind of left hanging to dry. This is where the story gets even more disturbing, because if we're getting data centers and we're getting these new technology upgrades that are now making it hard for us to know about our own safety, what exactly are these people building these data centers for? We know what they're building the data centers for at this point, to surveil us, but that's a whole nother conversation. Look, residents aren't just frustrated anymore, they're literally scared. We're talking about a city that already has a huge crime rate. Now we're introducing elements of no power, no food, and you're literally asking for conditions of people to get hurt. And the biggest takeaway that I want people to get from this is that this could happen to anybody anywhere. Like, I live in Florida, where we have crazy storms all the time. And during the last recent couple of years, where we've had an increase in the types of storms that we've been having, and just a lack of genuine help from the government in terms of getting things recovered faster. If you don't have a good representative for your state, then you're screwed. But it's important for us to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. And then also understand, like, as the government, as these companies push further into their data centers and their surveillance, they're starting to care less and less and less about us being informed about natural disasters and issues. We live in a time where you can't depend on the government and you can't depend on your state a lot of the times to give you the help that you need, especially when it comes to FEMA and all of these different programs. But how do you guys feel about this situation? Do you have family living in Gary, Indiana that is going through it? Are you living in Gary, Indiana and see this video? I hope this video brought awareness. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.